Hey, welcome to Stack Manager. This time we're using the light mode of the UI and taking a look at the new feature to edit the API gateway routes using a form or table. But for that, let's create first a couple of containers and the project. So let's configure first. Let's call this project or deployment as API testing. Let's pick up my home compartment. Let's pick up the VCN subnet, which is private one. And then let's select API gateway for our testing. So now we have the environment. Let's add a couple of ports where we run our containers, 3000 for the first API container and then 3001 for the second. Now we can add the containers. So this is like cars API 100. And let me replace the private image of the container, and let's select port 3000 for that one, and another cars API 200 with image from the private repo again, and let's pick the port 3001 for this. Nothing else, no volumes, no environment variables, nothing. So now we can use the new routes editor. So let's go here to edit them. So this is the old manual type of editing, copy pasting, whatever. But here's the new one, which is a table that shows the API endpoints using the ports. And here we can put like the mappings for the containers or routes to API gateway to map the container. So let's put this like API 100 and this like API 200, and the the containers will respond from the root, so there's no path for those needed. But since we don't provide a root um, path for the API gateway, we can add it here. So let's put the API 200 slash docs, which is the Swagger doc for this to API 200 as a default route or endpoint for the API gateway, so that whenever we arrive there, it will make a redirect to this mapping here. So let's save it and run full deploy. I'm gonna put on pause for a second and come back once this is completing. Okay, so the deployment has completed and the container instance is deployment created. So we got the private IP address of the instance. And now we're updating the gateway with the given routes. Let's wait for a second for that to complete and then we can test it. Takes a few seconds to do that. And once we're clear, then let's try it. Yeah, okay. Now we can go ahead and try it. So this is the redirect from the root. Okay. And we can test the API from here. So try it on, execute, and we got the API response, the cars from here. We could also try like the API 100. So, okay, interesting. Oh, yeah, it needs that cars, obviously. And the same for 200. Okay. But yeah, nicer to use this document Spriker doc to make the calls. with proper routes like /car or /cars, which I forgot to put in the first place. But never mind, it works great. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.